Hi everybody, it's Sarah at the Wyndham Public Library, and this is September's Art Night In. This month we're actually offering some in-person classes. It's the same exact craft, so if you couldn't make it to our class on September 3rd, we have this video here and you can come pick up one of the take-home kits at the circulation desk. This month we're doing weaving. This is what we're going to be making. We're using an embroidery hoop and we're going to make our own warp, and then we're going to weave different textures into it. So it's really simple, and actually probably something you could do very inexpensively at home if you really enjoy doing this craft. So this is my final piece. I used some yarn. I used this right here is actually just kind of like some funky ribbon. I wanted to use a lot of texture. What you'll get in your kit is a 6-inch embroidery hoop. You'll have some cotton string to make the warp, which is the things that go back and forth. You'll have different pieces of yarn, different colors, different textures for you to weave into it, some ribbon that you can weave into it too, and you'll have a tapestry needle, which is like a very large plastic needle that you can fit yarn through. I don't have one of those right now because I like to use my hands, but that will be in your kit. So what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to show you how to make the warp, and then we're going to just do the basics of weaving, which is in and out, so I don't think you need me to show you much of that. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy this craft. This is your embroidery hoop. If you have never used one before, you just unscrew it like that, and you pop off this outside piece. Like so. And so what we're going to do, and you are going to have a white cotton thread like this to make your warp. But I'm going to do it right now in red yarn so that it's easier to see and so that you can see what I'm doing. But this is eventually what you're going to come out with. The key thing is that you have an odd number of strings. So counting from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You always want to have an odd number. Otherwise your in and out won't work and your weaving won't work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this red yarn right here, and I'm going to tie a double knot with a little bit of a tail to the top, like that. And then I'm going to go, let's see, best way to show you this, down, and you're pulling it taut, and then like this. And I keep moving just to the next one. Let's keep it really simple with just a few right now so that I can kind of show you how this works. So right now I'm going to count how many we have from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. So this one that I came back up with, I'm actually going to take this string. This is a little bit of the tricky part. I've watched a million videos myself to try and get myself to do this. And you're just going to go down through the center of a couple of them and just pull it tight like this. And then you're going to go through the side twice like that and pull it tight. And see how it just kind of tightens it all up like that? It's really simple. Please rewind and do it again if you can't figure that out, but you go side to side to side to side to side, and then when you finally have an odd number of spokes like this, you want to just tidy it up a little bit by just like going in and out, and then you tie it to this little tail that we left and a double knot. Like that. Then you can actually open up your outside and you can put it over it. It's going to hold that on tight. It'll hold all of your spokes in place like that. So it's perfect. You're going to start with, we'll start with just an easy yarn that we can see like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to just choose a place to start. I like to kind of always get started at the same spot. So this is where we started our warp. This is where I'm going to start my weaving, and I'm going to leave a tail out the back like that. And so with weaving, you're going to go over, under, and then over. So just in and out the whole way around. You can do it up here, up in this area, and then once we get all the way around, and we're going to keep going, you can kind of just pull it a little bit taut, and you can start to see that pattern right there. You can tell if you need to go over or under because we're using an odd number of spokes, it switches. So now as we go around a second time, the ones that we went over before, we are now going under, and so it creates like this great weave, and you just pull it tight. And I always leave the tails in the back so that you can either tie them together, over, under, and you can do it as long as you'd like. I'll show you right here on this one. So I just kept going over, under until I got to this point, and then I'm going to show you how I would start my next thing. I can either just leave this hanging like this, or I can tie it. And so I'm going to show you how to use the ribbon. So what I'm going to do is cut this tail right here a little bit shorter, and I'm going to tie the ribbon to it in just a square knot. Any type of knot's fine. And I'll trim the ends. These will all be in the back so you won't see them. And I can show you the difference between the back of my weaving. So I'm going to take a peek and see where I left off here. I left off an over right there, so I'm going to make sure I go under this one. And with the ribbon, I'm just going to be pulling it through, over, under, and I'm pulling my tails into the back, keeping them in the back, going over, under. I really love texture. I think that using like chunky yarn or something with a little bit of like fur on it is really fun. So I've added all those kind of really interesting textures to your kits. I'm sure some of you have yarn at home, and if you don't like the yarn that I've put in your kit, please use whatever you'd like. I think it's pretty easy to find leftover scraps. So let me just show you how that's going, and you just have some different texture here with this ribbon. And so as we get around the other side, I'm just making sure that I keep my tails, the excess, behind. And sometimes they'll pull forward and you just want to keep pulling them behind. This ribbon that I'm using right now has some wire in it, so it's actually like staying really well, and I folded it up really hard. So let's just get right back to where we were so we can pull those tails into the back and start at we're back at the beginning. And you can see. Now the bigger the embroidery hoop you use, the easier it is because your warp is a little bit bigger in between. I'm just showing you how to do it on these small ones that I had lying around. So you can see all of my tails are back here, and we can trim them later. On my final piece, this is the front This is the back. So the back is like kind of a hot mess full of tails and things that I've tied together. But this is the front of it right here. So that's it. It's pretty easy. And if you couldn't make my class on Friday, then I'm happy that you can come in and grab a kit and do this at home, and you can really use anything you want. You can use yarn, ribbon, embroidery, thread, really anything. I mean, you could even use natural things like leaves and bits of bark. It would be that would be really neat. So if you have any questions, please just stop by the circulation desk and pick up your kits. They're available September 1st, and it's a limited set, so please come as early as you can to pick those up. I'm going to be hosting classes the first Friday of every month from 2:30 to 3:30 here at the library. It'll be the same craft that is in the take-home kit. It's just in person. So I hope to see some of you guys soon, and take care.